3 days after the suicide hijackings and 1 day after the lifting of the FAA ban on civilian flights, increasing numbers of travelers are finally getting back into the air, but it's slow going. Sandra Hughes is watching the traffic at Los Angeles International Airport. Sandra?
Well, Dan, only a handful of the nation's 451 airports remain closed today, and the FAA says that's because they haven't received their certification under the new stricter security measures. Now, Midway Airport in Chicago was closed this afternoon when a man of Middle Eastern descent with a name similar to one of the hijackers tried to buy a ticket. Also, Washington's Reagan National Airport remains closed indefinitely because of its proximity to the Capitol. But for the most part, the nation's air travel system is just trying to catch up to its normal schedule. Air travel started picking up speed today, though it is nowhere near normal. At one point this morning, air traffic controllers were tracking about 1,700 flights across the nation.
Clear for takeoff.
That's less than half the number for a normal weekday morning. In Los Angeles, passengers could not drive to the airport in private vehicles, but had to use taxis and buses. Lines were long with unexpected hitches.
Fingernail file.
Okay, take it.
I got to put it in my luggage.
But despite the inconvenience of long lines,
I'm keeping it calm, easy.
delayed and canceled flights,
Everyone's making an effort to do the best they can to get us where we need to go.
extra security,
I think today's going to be the safest day to fly.
the mood here was calm.
You've been delayed yet?
Actually, it's canceled.
So what are you going to do?
Try to get on another flight.
And even patriotic.
I wore it just for today. I always carry it, but it seemed like the right thing.
I have a lot of friends and family back in New York, and I just can't wait to get home and be with them.
Home to New York, where airports were finally open today after quickly shutting down yesterday because of a security alert. Still, with rain along the East Coast and a tropical storm in Florida, the already hampered system was getting hammered even worse. All these disruptions led to Amtrak selling out train seats on long-distance routes.
I just didn't feel it was worth the risk to fly on a plane today.
Train traffic slowed when an Amtrak passenger train collided with a freight train in Utah yesterday. Only minor injuries were reported, and trains are moving again. Greyhound Bus had twice as many riders as normal. The desire to get home was strong.
People have been very resourceful in the means that they found to get back home.
Security measures remained extraordinary. Police at the still-closed Boston Logan Airport, where one of the ill-fated flights originated, were carefully questioning every employee.
Where you going?
To Orlando.
Less than half the flights as normal were taking off from Atlanta, one of the busiest airports in the world.
Yeah, this is line 3, ma'am. Just be patient with us.
Crowds swarmed terminals and frustration started to build.
But we got to figure out something better than this. This is not going to work.
But it could be worse. Some Americans were stranded in Canada and overseas. And now foreign airlines must comply with the stricter security measures or they'll be banned. Back at home, airlines were struggling to get back to normal. Today, Delta was flying less than half its scheduled flights. American Airlines had about a third of its flights in the air. And United was only at about 20% of normal capacity. Now, Boston's Logan Airport will reopen at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. The FAA has reopened the skies to private planes, but only those using instruments. Dan?
Sandra.